بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we are going to continue today. Let me show you where we are reading so that you are aware of the page number and what we are trying to discuss from the rulings in Arabic. Obviously, you can open your English Manasik al-Hajj, because as I mentioned, there are some issues where we have translation problems. So however, I'm just going to show you the screen of the page which we are doing today, and after that you are able to follow up. Yeah. So we were discussing about what about the penalties, correct? We were discussing about the prohibitions of the state of Ihram. What are the prohibitions of the state of Ihram? So we are going to continue. We completed the hunting part, okay? We are going to now discuss the part of the private relations. So this is ruling number 219. However, I'm not going to go into details of it. So make sure that if you encounter something like that, then you are able to resolve your issue with whatever situation you have been into. Okay. So number 2, private relations, private spousal relations, husband and wife. It is prohibited for a person during the ihram of Umratul Mufrada, Umratul Tamattu, Hajj Tamattu, state of ihram. Okay. In the state of ihram, during the process of performing the Umrah, and also in the Hajj, before completing the Tawafun Nisa and Salat Tawafun Nisa. After Salat Tawafun Nisa, you are okay. But before doing that, no. So the penalty, I'm just going to mention the penalty. It's a camel. So that's why I tell you, stay away from the camels, okay? Camel, say the Sistan says camel or a cow. Still, it's expensive, okay? So then there are some details. I'm not just going to go through these details. The main thing is I just wanted you to know that the camel, and some of the rulings is intentionally, if you do it, then you have to repeat the Hajj. وَيَأْتِي بِالْحَجِّ بَعْدَهَا. Okay, you messed up in Umrat al-Tamattu, complete the Hajj, and then next year perform one more Hajj. So it's not just a camel, it's one full Hajj. So stay away from the camel things, okay? This is if somebody did it intentionally. However, the good news is, okay, let me just explain 3 issues which are very important issues for people to understand this ahkam. Oh, not this one. What happened to the... Yeah, this one. Yes. So we have 3 things, okay? Jahl, unawareness. If somebody does one of these things out of unawareness, there's a ruling for that. Forgetfulness, he knows, but then he was in a state of ihram, shaitan came to him and he forgot, and whoopsie daisy happened. Okay, so that is another. So remember, jahl, nisyan, out of unawareness, out of forgetfulness. And the third thing is He was compelled to. He was under circumstances like sickness, like disease, not in the case of the private relations of the husband. We are talking about sickness in other prohibitions of ihram, okay? Like going under the shaded area. He was sick, he could not go in open air, or there was no open air buses available or means of transportation. At least we don't have open without roof aeroplane or something like that. So just remember there are three cases someone could violate the state of they do some prohibitions intentionally, okay, or intentionally, it goes intentionally, deliberately, even out of compulsion. He was compelled to, because once a person is compelled to travel under the shaded means of transportation for men, that means that he's compelled to. That means he's doing it intentionally. Okay? He's not unaware. He's not, it's not out of forgetfulness. So number one is intentional, deliberate. But this deliberate could be without any excuse, with excuse. So just remember this first one: intentionally, deliberately, with excuse or without excuse. He made an intention to do one of the prohibitions of ihram. Okay, that is number one. Number two, no, unawareness. He did not learn. Why? When the Maulana were explaining the manasik of Hajj, he was busy in shopping for going for Hajj or Umrah. In Makkah, when Maulana was giving Manasik al-Hajj, he was being shopping to buy the gifts for those people who give. So shopping here, shopping there. Baba, then don't go for Hajj. If you're going for Hajj, learn the ahkam. So he was unaware about this being a prohibition of ihram. Okay? So that is which case? Second case. Number one case, deliberately. Two sections of deliberately or intentionally. Excuse, inexcuse. Under excuse, he had to do. Second one, no, unawareness. He doesn't know that this is one of the prohibitions of ihram. Because he said, Maulana, you told us in general, make an intention, I'm entering the state of ihram for whatever is prohibited, I will avoid. I did not know this was prohibited. Okay? So that is jahil, unaware person, ignorant person. And then there is nisyan. He attended the sessions. Okay? He attended, but for certain circumstances, he forgot about it. So that is nisyan, out of forgetfulness. So intentional, being compelled or uncompelled. Out of unawareness and out of forgetfulness. So Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah, if you look into this slide, ruling number 225, he gives a good news for many hujjaj. Okay? He says, if someone, good news doesn't mean you do it. No. And for you guys who are learning this rule, this is not applicable for you because now you have the knowledge of it. Yes, you may forget, that's something else. But if you don't forget, then at least the jahil, unaware portion has gone away from you. So he says, إِذَا جَامَعَ الْمُحْرِمُ امْرَأَتَهُ, if a person in the state of ihram has private relation with his wife, jahlan, out of unawareness. Out of what? Unawareness, jahlan. Okay, so that is number one. أو نسيانا, out of forgetfulness. صحت عمرته وحجه. So no more camel and no more kafara. ولا تجب عليه الكفارة. And the penalty will not be obligated upon him. Okay? So that's the good news. This is where if somebody has private relations with his wife. Okay, Sayyidina, what about other prohibitions? We are not talking about intentional, even out of we are talking about unawareness and forgetfulness. Focus with me. Jahlan wa nisyanan. These two cases, not the first case. The first case is not included here. The first case, yes, there are cases you have to pay penalty because you did it intentional. Yeah, but I was compelled to. Yeah, then it's not a sin. But kafara is must. Penalty is must. So there are two things. If you have done intentionally, not out of compulsion, not out of necessity, you are a sinner plus pay the penalty. But if you had an excuse, in many cases, you are not a sinner, but you will have to pay the penalty. So this is the rule of thumb. Please remember it. So that is intentional. Excuse or inexcuse. To excuse, no haram. Inexcuse, haram. Penalty, yes, both cases. In many cases, yes, there are some cases there is no penalty for somebody who was compelled to, but most of the cases you will find penalty. This is a different department. This is a department of for ignorance and out of forgetfulness. إذا جامع المحرم امرأته جهلا, unawareness, ignorance of the ruling of the situation, أو نسيانا, or he forgot out of forgetfulness. صحت عمرته وحجه. His Hajj and Umrah will be valid. He doesn't have to redo next year. ولا تجب عليه الكفارة. Good. So Sayyidina, what about the other things which are upcoming? And what about the hunting? No. Hunting, no exemption. Why, Sayyidina? Remember, hunting, even out of ignorance, out of unawareness, hunting kafara is must. So that's one of the prohibitions, even out of unawareness, ignorance. You have to pay the penalty. Okay, so that's hunting. But what about other upcoming? He said, don't worry about it. وهذا الحكم يجري أيضا في المحرمات الآتية التي توجب الكفارة. This ruling is applicable for all the upcoming prohibitions which causes penalty. Relieved? Relieved, yes. Okay. So no kafara, Hajj correct, Umrah correct, all the other, except for the hunting, number one, which we did yesterday. Today and onwards, ignorance, unawareness, no penalty. Compulsion, we are going to come. But this is something only for unawareness and ignorance. التي توجب الكفارة بمعنى أن ارتكاب المحرم أي عمل منها لا يوجب الكفارة. That means that if a person who's in the state of ihram commits one of those prohibitions of ihram, out of what? Out of unawareness and out of forgetfulness. Okay? لا يوجب الكفارة. Those things will be not causing any of the kafara. عمل منها, that action violation he does, or he commits one of the prohibitions, it will not cause kafara upon him. إذا كان صدوره, if he had done that, منه ناشئا عن جهل أو نسيان, if it was out of ignorance or unawareness or out of forgetfulness. Okay, Sayyidina, thank you for the good news. So we know that hunting, no way. Okay, the upcoming, from this private relations to upcoming prohibitions, if out of forgetfulness, out of unawareness, no penalty. Is that okay? No, that's not okay. However, but that but is not what we don't like. Sayyidina Khalas. You said it upcoming. No, 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 no. There are narrations exempting four things. Beside the hunting, there are four more things. If you do it out of unawareness or out of ignorance, then there will be kafara. So what you need to know is our beloved Hajji Sahib or Hajjiya, remember these 5 things: hunting and these 4 things, because these, even out of unawareness, out of ignorance, it will cause you penalty. And what are these? Let's go through them. ما إذا نسي الطواف في الحج أو العمرة حتى رجع إلى بلاده وواقع أهله. Subhanallah. He went for Hajj or Umrah. He forgot the tawaf. Okay. So can't someone forget the tawaf? Yes, he can forget the tawaf. Why not? Okay. So basically, this person, he forgot the tawaf. Okay. So now what should we do? Let me see if I can enlarge this thing. Uh, okay. So number one, hunting, that's done. Okay. You know, unawareness. But what about the tawaf? I mean, this guy, subhanallah, he doesn't know what is the Hajj all about. It's all about tawaf. You're visiting house of Allah. How could you forget? I mean, people might forget. We are not saying, but normally, in normal cases, you won't be doing this while you stay away from hunting. Make sure that you did your tawaf. So this ruling says, if someone forgot his tawaf of Hajj and tawaf of Umrah until he returns to his hometown, and then he has private relations with his spouse. So what? If you did not do tawaf and of Hajj or Umrah, you are still in the state of ihram. So that means you have done your private relations in the state of ihram. So when you come back to your hometown and then you have missed the tawaf, even out of ignorance, even unintentionally, even whatever, kafara will be there. So this is something a person needs to understand, that this is like hunting. But normally you won't do this. Or will you? I hope so not. Okay, don't miss your tawaf and umrah and sa'i and taqsir, the essentials of Hajj and umrah, please. Okay, if you miss, then be in the state of ihram until someone does this tawaf for you, niyaba, or an umrah niyaba. This is nisyan. Okay, not unawareness, not jahlan, nisyan, out of forgetfulness. Okay, what is the other one? Out of forgetfulness. إذا نسي شيئا من السعي في عمرة التمتع. You are in the عمرة التمتع, Umrah of Hajj, and you enter, you forgot the sa'i, the walk between Safa and Marwa was forgotten. فأحل, you exit the state of ihram after Safa and Marwa, after you clips a little bit, like you take off, clip a hair or nail or something like that, then you exit the state of ihram of Umrat al-Tamattu. He did not do the sa'i, and he thought he's khalas, tawaf done, 2 rakat tawaf done of Umrat al-Tamattu, sa'i is not needed. I'll do it later on with the a'mal of Hajj. And that is someone, he is still in the state of ihram. So if he does any violations which causes kafara, he will have to pay kafara. ما إذا نسي شيئا, if someone forgets not the entire sa'i, even part of sa'i, even 1 round, 2 round. So what about entire sa'i? To forget about that totally. So if he does not do part of sa'i in Umrat al-Tamattu, فَأَحَلَّ, and he clips his hair or nail and exits the state of ihram, that means there will be a penalty, and that penalty, even if it was out of forgetfulness. I don't think so you will be doing that. Okay, then just remember this, that please do the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. So I don't think so you will hunt. I don't think so you will not do tawaf. I don't think so you will not miss the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Yeah, if you do from the top floor on the scooter, that is as you have not done the sa'i. So make sure that you do the sa'i from the ground floor and not from the top floor, according to Sayyid Sistani Damadullah. Number 3 and 4, these are something which you may encounter. Man amarra yadahu ala ra'sihi aw lihyatihi abathan, not during the state of wudu, like this. Like this. This is all abath, not needed. Okay? And whoopsie daisy, hair came out in your hand. Okay? فَسَقَطَتْ شَعْرَ أَوْ أَكْثَرَ. One, like this, I scratched. Okay? Even you scratch, you do like soft scratch. Don't scratch too much that a whoopsie daisy, hair comes out in your hand. So he did like this. Whoa, a hair came out. So there is going to be a penalty. Each hair, one handful of food to be given to the poor. So this is unintentional, unawareness, out of forgetfulness. No, you have to pay the penalty. However, if you clip the hair, that's a big penalty intentionally. But unintentionally, handful of to the poor people. So there's a penalty here. Hair. So many people, they come back, they just give 5 kgs of food to the poor, because this is like maybe 200 grams handful of food. 200 grams, it's not even 1 kilo. So how many hair might have fallen out of awareness or unawareness? Just give a bag full of rice to the poor. So this is not that. Then the fourth one, ما إذا الدهن بالدهن الطيب, the perfume, like duhn means oil, okay, perfumed oil. So if you apply perfumed oil, awil mutayyib, or something which makes perfume, and jahlin, out of unawareness, then if there's a penalty, then you will have to pay. He says ويأتي جميع ذلك في محلها في محلها. It should be في محلها, not محلها. Okay, في محلها. All these are going to come in detail in their places. So let's conclude these things which are unforgivable. Number 1, hunting, unawareness, out of forgetfulness. Let me show you the clip of hunting if I have that clip. Okay, which is the ruling number, for example. Yeah, this one. You see this ruling number? What does it say? Ruling number 217. لا فرق في وجوب الكفارة. There is no difference in the obligation of penalty في قتل الصيد, in killing the hunt. وأكله. Okay, remember there was killing, eating, securing. So he says in killing the hunt and eating it, بين العمد والسهو والجهل, between intentional or unawareness or out of forgetfulness. So this is the ruling of hunting. So it's not only 4, these are 5 things, remember. How many are Ashabul Kisa? 5. How many are unforgivable in the Ihram of Hajj, even out of unawareness? These are the 5 ones. Okay, so let's just recount them. Okay, let's just recount them. Number 1, hunting, out of forgetfulness, out of unawareness, intentionally excuse, inexcuse, penalty. Number two, forgetting the tawaf of Hajj and Umrah, returning back home, having private relation with the wife, you are still in the state of ihram. You did not do your tawaf. Penalty. But I did not know. Penalty. I knew, but I forgot. Penalty. Okay? You will not be sinner if you forgot, but penalty is there. It depends on camel or cow. Go back to the rulings of detail and check out. And there are some details, how long and how much and all those kind of details. I'm not going to go into those details. Check it out by yourself. But the most important thing, number one was what? Hunting. Number two was what? Forgetting tawaf of Hajj or Umrah, coming back, having a relation with your wife. Number, any other things? No. Having relation with your wife. Not any prohibitions of ihram. Number three, forgetting the sa'i and exiting the state of ihram. Penalty. Number four, playing with your hair and whoopsie daisy, comes a hair out. Handful of food. Okay? One or more hair, there's a penalty. Number five, what's number five? Perfume. Okay? Now, perfume, when I say perfume, there are two types of oils. Without perfume, perfume. For medication purpose, try to use oils which do not have perfume. Let's say if you have to use this ointment of camphor or something like that, painkiller, then there are some exceptions available. We are going to discuss about that. But intentionally or out of forgetfulness or out of ignorance, you apply the perfume or perfumed oil, like attar, antar, like a tib, the perfume which is like in small bottles. These are oils, also oil. Okay. So even if it was not oil with perfume, someone kept perfume in that oil and made it perfumed oil. So ad-dihn tayyib, originally it is extracted in an original form, or no, mutayyib. It was not like most of the cheap perfumes. They're oil. I don't know what kind of filthy oil it is, but they put some perfume and they sell you this cheap. So what happens? The perfume evaporates and what remains in the bottle is filthy smell and it expires very fast. So that's tayyib and mutayyib. So these are the five things where you are not exempt from the penalty. Okay, so now let's go and back to our rulings. So yes. Okay, so this was ruling number 225. So I'm not going to go into details, okay? Just check the details from ruling number 220 to 224. Those details are not necessary unless if you are one of those people who need to check these rulings. The other thing is one of those prohibitions. So number one was hunting. Number two was private relation. Number three was kissing the wife, okay, or kissing the woman or wife out of lust or even without lust. Okay, there's a penalty. But if you are unaware, ignorant, that's fine. You see, no penalty, as we mentioned. So this number three is something which you can read it by yourself. There are some things I don't like to mention. Just check it out if you're one of those who may encounter this kind of thing, because it's not just kissing, it's this light kissing and heavy kissing, and just check out by yourself. Number four from the prohibitions, ruling number 228 is touching the woman. So I can't touch my wife? Oh, let's let's complete. Don't jump to conclusion. What many times we have to secure our wives in the tawaf because guys are coming and touching this side, touching. So normally I make like two hands and touch my wife's shoulder or protect my wife. That's fine, okay. But let's read the ruling. لا يجوز للمحرم أن يمس زوجته. It is prohibited for a person in the state of ihram to what? To touch his wife. أو يحملها, or to carry her. MashaAllah, this is an amazing husband. The whole tawaf is carrying his wife like a baby. No, I will, like he's the wedding night, is carrying and getting her in the room. But nowadays the wives are carrying their husbands. Anyhow, so the thing is that that's a metaphor. Most of the cases, not everyone. So therefore, he's carrying his wife. أو يضمها إليه, or hugs her, or no, even like keeps her hugged, like in the tawaf, so she doesn't get lost. Okay, so she doesn't get lost. He keeps her hugged. So touching, carrying, hugging. But Sheikh, we see a lot of people, they do tawaf with their wives, and some of them they're grabbing them tightly so that she doesn't get lost, and they're like touching the shoulders sometimes, and body with body being touched. So he says, an shahwa, touching the wife out of lust, carrying the wife out of lust, hugging or embracing the wife out of lust. فَإِنْ فَعَلَ ذَلِكَ, I'm not going to mention these things here. Anyhow, then there's a penalty of sheep. But فإذا لم يكن المس والحمل والضم عن شهوة فلا شيء عليه. If the touching or carrying or embracing was not out of lust, then there is no problem, there is no penalty. Or we remember we mentioned the previously, if out of lust, but it was out of ignorance or forgetfulness, this is one of those exempt ones. Okay, but if it was not, these people who are doing the tawaf to their wife, where the lust, most of them, they are so jealous about their wife that they're burning inside. Oh no, this guy will touch her, this guy will touch her, this guy will touch her. They are like so much busy, their mind are busy, okay, that they would not even think about shahwa in that case, in that scenario, when the guy is worried about losing his wife, and then he will have to look for her, and lost and found, and it's so complicated. So make sure that you don't lose your wife there, otherwise it will become. Let's take number 5, one of the prohibitions of ihram. So this ruling number 229. لا يجوز للمحرم. It is not permitted for the muhrim person, the foreplay kind of thing. You read the ruling by yourself, okay? I'm not going to go into details. Then that's a penalty, okay? A sheep is a penalty. However, sheep is a penalty. However, in this case, again, it is one of those cases where out of ignorance and out of unawareness, but again, come on, I mean, you are in Hajj and you are in the state Umrah, state of Ihram. Where is your mind? But there are people, God knows best. Ruling number 230. That was his wife. Ruling number 230 talks about someone who's not wife. Hello, keep it halal. Something which is he's going to do something haram. So that is prohibited also. And you can complete the ruling. Then what about the ruling number 231? يجوز استمتاع المحرم من زوجته بالتحدث إليها, talking to her, like talking private talk with her, fine. Sitting with her, even if there is that kind of feeling, that's fine. as long as you don't kiss, you don't foreplay, you don't do any kind of those kind of things. But he says it's recommended precaution to just leave even talking out of lust. Leave that lustful sitting. Okay, just go away, sit away. Don't. And then number six is discharging. Okay, discharging of the private liquid for men. I'm not going to go into these details as well. Just go through it by yourself. If you are one of those who might encounter this, okay, uh, yes, and this has been mentioned whether it's associated with one of those things we mentioned previously or just like whoopsie daisy kind of thing. Number seven, okay, number seven, Aqdun nikah. So all those were like kind of X-rated rulings. Just check it by yourself. Number seven, having a marriage contract. Okay, performing a marriage contract. Ruling number 233. يحرم على المحرم. It is prohibited on a person who's in the state of ihram. التزويج, to get married. لنفسه أو لغيره. So don't recite the marriage contract, period. But no, I was reciting for my brother. He's not in ihram. You are in the state of ihram. You should not be reciting the marriage contract at all. أو لغيره. So, but he was not in the state. سواء كان ذلك الغير محرما أم كان محلا. Regardless of that person which you did the marriage contract for him, he was in the state of ihram or not in the state of ihram. وسواء كان التزويج تزويج دوام أو تزويج انقطاع. Regardless of that marriage was a temporary or a permanent. ويفسد العقد في جميع هذه الصور. But I did it. Okay, unawareness, this and that, that's fine. If unawareness, you are not going to be penalized, but the aqd is invalid. There is no more marriage solemnized now. So there was no marriage contract happen because you were in the state of ihram. إذا عقد إذا عقد لمحرم امرأة فدخل بها. Ruling number 234. If someone made marriage contract for a person who's in the state of ihram and he consummated the marriage, he entered her. فعلى كل من العاقد والرجل والمرأة. Three of them, the one who recited the marriage contract, the one who was contracted, and the bride as well. Three of them, they will have a penalty of camel. Remember, I tell you, stay away from the camel. So this is a camel penalty. إذا كانوا عالمين بالحال, if they were aware about the situation and aware about the rulings. So they know that they are not supposed to, and they did it intentionally. The guy has been looking for a wife for years and years, and now he finds a dream girl, or the girl, she found a dream guy. And this is the opportunity, and they're afraid if they will not do it now, he will. It's a test of Allah. You were waiting for a long time, and you found a hyperbolic spiritual girl, and you found a spiritual hyperbolic spiritual guy, and this is your opportunity. Just get it done with. Don't miss this opportunity. She's intoxicated in the spirituality, and he's intoxicated, and they did it knowingly. Where did the spirituality go? The spirituality got shattered and battered. You are in the state of ihram, spiritual state. You are prohibited. You know the ruling. You're not supposed to, and you did it. Congratulations with a camel. Okay. حكما وموضوعا. So penalties for three of them. if they were aware about not doing it, the ruling and the situation. وإذا كان بعضهم عالما دون بعض فلا كفارة على الجاهل. Some of these three, they knew, and others they did not. So the penalty, the camel will be on the one who knew. ولا فرق فيما ذكر بين أن يكون العاقد والمرأة محلين أو محرمين. So there is no difference between the person who's conducting the marriage contract or the woman. They were in the state of ihram, or they exited the state of ihram. The thing is, the person who conducted the marriage contract was in the state of ihram. So remember, the first we said that the person who's reciting the marriage contract should not be in the state of ihram. And the person who's being who is in the contract. But regardless, this guy and the girl, they were in the state of ihram or not, the person who recited the marriage contract, at least one of them was in the state of ihram. لا يجوز للمحرم. Okay, so that's the person who's reciting the marriage contract. What if like we were buddies and we were witnessing? You cannot witness also. It is prohibited for a person in the state, ruling number 235, it is prohibited for a person who's in the state of ihram to witness the marriage contract and to be present in the gathering or the ceremony of the marriage contract on the basis of obligatory precaution. And also to give a testimony, I witness that these two people are husband and wife. No. On the basis of recommended precaution, do not even testify. So witnessing and giving testimony. Witnessing is prohibited on the basis of obligatory precaution. Giving testimony is prohibited on the basis of recommended precaution. أداء الشهادة عليه وإن تحملها محلا. Even if you had took the testimony in the state of you were not in the state of ihram when you witnessed, okay, but now when you're giving testimony, I bear witness that they are husband and wife. No, it's recommended precaution. Don't bear witness. But I did not witness when I was in the state of ihram. That's fine. Ruling number 236, recommended precaution. Al-ahwat al-awla, don't present yourself for engagement as well. Al-ahwat al-awla, as a recommended precaution, 236, أن لا يتعرض المحرم لخطبة النساء. A person who's in the state of ihram should not propose for marriage to a woman. نعم يجوز له الرجوع إلى مطلقته الرجعية كما يجوز له طلاق زوجته. So yes, it is permissible for him. Let's say he divorced, and in divorce, when somebody divorces his wife before ending of the third period, he can nullify the divorce. So he says he can nullify his divorce. Let's say before the Hajj, he divorced him. Before the Umrah, he did Labbaik Allah, Labbaik. He got this hypophany, whatever epiphanies he got, and he became in the hyperbolic spiritual state. And he realized, no, I shouldn't have divorced her, and this and that. Allah does not like divorce. The Prophet ﷺ hated divorce. The Prophet ﷺ had difficult circumstances with some of his wife, but he never ever divorced. You see, because he know that Allah does not like divorce, even if it's halal. So he just realized this in the spiritual state, and he said he was in the state of ihram. Let me get my wife back. So he nullifies the divorce. Okay. So is that okay? Yes, because it's already married. The narrations they have specified the marriage contract, the testimony of marriage contract to propose for marriage, but not nullifying the divorce. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Can he divorce his wife? Yes, because the divorce is not mentioned from the prohibitions of ihram. Number eight, this is a topic of perfume, and it is crucial because what happens, you are like filthy in Mina. You come from Muzdalifah, Arafah with this hot weather, with this sweat all in your body, sweaty and filth and smell and this and that. I know my face expressions, they don't give you good news, but anyhow, that's all rewardable act. You're getting rewarded that filth. Remember the fasting's filthy fasting person's filthy smell is like perfume to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because you're in the state of worship. So this is also you're in a state of worship. So therefore, and now you want to take a shower. That's fine. Can a muhrim person take a shower, take a bath, clean himself? Yes, you can. You can do that. But don't use perfumed shampoo, perfumed soap, because perfume is prohibited. So Muhrim, they have this olive oil soap. I think Lebanese and Syrian people and Iraqis, they know that they call it sabun raggi. Iraqis, they call sabun bizayt zaytun. So it's olive oil. It doesn't have smell. I mean, it has smell, but smell of soap, not fragrance. When we are talking about smell, we are talking about fragrance. Whatever is known in Urf to be fragrance. Yes, some crazy guy, he might have olive oils smell fragrance. Some people they love the smell of garlic. So if you will barf on his face with eaten lots of hefty levels of garlic, he may enjoy. Let me have it. Let me have it. Okay. There are some odd people in the world. We respect every human being, but don't be surprised if the but that is odd case. That doesn't mean that he cannot use the olive oil soap because orphan it's not a fragrance. Okay, so when we talk about fragrance in Hajj, we are talking about big time fragrance. Okay, like good smell. So we will take this and we will complete inshallah on Monday. So استعمال الطيب يحرم على المحرم. استعمال الطيب. It is prohibited on a person who's in the state of ihram, ruling number 237, to use the perfume. Okay. What is this use of perfume, Sayyidina? Shamman, smelling it. Aklan, eating some like cardamom. Okay, that's a fragrance. So people, they put cardamom in their mouth. Okay. Or anything which gives you a good smell in your mouth. Aklan, shamman, smelling it. Aklan, eating it. Wa itla'an, applying on the body, okay, like perfumes, applying on the body. Wasibghan, some pigments or some colors, they have fragrance. Okay, so when you put that color, like some of the makeup, ladies makeup, sometimes they put some fragrance in their powder or so they paint themselves with fragrance painted. Wa okay, bukhur is that incenses. Okay, you put on charcoal something and that comes out. Okay, so this is so what is the meaning of using the perfume fragrance? Smelling it, eating it, applying it, using the pigments or paint or colors which has fragrance in it, or bukhur, incenses. Okay, that's وكذلك لبس ما يكون عليه أثر منه. Similarly, it is prohibited to wear something which has already fragrance in it. Okay, like your ihram, be careful the dress of ihram. Let it be in your plastic ihram bag with a zipper on it, because many times what happens, some of the youth, they arrived in Hajj and their bag was abused. You know, like when you see this baggage coming to you, most of the people, they are fortunate that their bag comes alive and safe and secure. But there are times your bags, I've seen in the airplane when I sit beside the window, I see how some of the baggage dealers, they hate bags. They just throw like this. Eh, Even if this, I've seen this. I don't know, they train them to throw the bags or what. Most of the time I've seen that I think because of the hot weather or cold weather outside in the situation, and they don't know that I'm watching, I'll be watching, okay? And I see that they abuse the bags. Literally, I see them throwing it. Baba, just take it, put it, and put it. And the one guy I saw, he takes the bag and he like does it like that, like what? So they have this anger on the bags. So that's why don't be surprised if you get your bag abused and violated. So okay, so what happened? Some of our youth, they got their bags smashed, and the perfume bottles which were in there, it got spilled, and their ihram were open in the suitcase. The reason I'm mentioning this, be careful when you put your ihram, make it in 2, 3 plastic bags. Uh, so, uh, so the ihram was so when we were young. So my teacher told him that no, you have to wash this ihram until the smell goes away. If the perfume is strong and you cannot go, just go buy another ihram. Okay, this is ihram is not usable. He precautionary measures. He just got a new ihram. You see, because he doesn't know he'll wash and he'll waste time. Just get a new ihram and that's it. It's about $20 or something like that. It's not too expensive also. وكذلك لبس ما يكون عليه أثر منه. Even wearing a dress, obviously dress of ihram. No, for women, their dress is not dress of ihram. Their dress is normal dresses. So similarly, wearing any dress of ihram or cloth of ihram, which has effects of perfume, fragrance. والمراد بالطيب. Okay, Sayyidina, we heard that smelling and those, but what is طيب exactly? What is the perfume? والمراد بالطيب, and what is meant by perfume? كل مادة يطيب بها البدن. Every substance, everything which which is used to perfume the body and the clothes and the food and anything else. So, substance or something which is used to perfume the body, the clothes, the food, or anything else. Like what Sayyidina, can you give us example? مثل المسك, such as musk. I don't know if I'm translating it correct. والعنبر, amber. And I don't know that amber, they call it also the yellow thing is called amber, where you Jurassic Park kind of thing. Okay, I don't know. The amber is called amber. Just check your mullah chat GPT or mullah Google to see amber. Amber is a perfume, it's dark, it's a very strong. Normally amber is taken out from the dead whale's stomach. Okay, or the urine or the feces, no, feces of it's taken out of dead whales, you see. So when the whale dies, the internal feces of it, or something like that, or kabid, liver or something internal part. I've forgotten exactly. Just check out on Mullah YouTube. How do they extract the perfume of amber? Where does it come? Walwaras, a type of perfume was za'faran, saffron, ونحوها. Okay, now we know that it is perfume. Okay. حتى العطور حتى العطور المتعارف حتى العطور المتعارفة, and including the commonly known perfumes. So these are original perfumes. Musk, where do they take out the musk? There's a special deer, I think so, it's reindeer, the belly button, or the belly of the gland in the belly button. When you take it out, you cut it, the misk is inside it. So it's a discharge of the blood in this gland of belly button of certain type of deer. You cut it open, the whole room and the area becomes fragrance. So that is misk. Amber, I told you about whale. So it's natural things produced by animals. Was za'faran, the trees. Even the extracted or made perfume, okay, distilled perfumes, so like synthetically made perfumes, these are also included in the ruling. Alal adhar, most apparently, such as atr al ward, rose perfume. It is extracted from the distilled process of distillation. والياس والرازقي, jasmine, and different types of these perfumes, flowers. You cannot smell them. Not just that, you cannot also use their extract oils as well. وما يشبهها, whatever is similar to it. على الأظهار, so commonly used perfume. Okay, maybe they are not specific in the narrations, but say this Sistani, he thinks, he looks into the text of the narration. So there is apparent meaning for certain things, but there is a most apparent exclusive rule is derived from these perfumes, that any perfume commonly known is included in this rules. And these perfumes were mentioned based on tariqiyya and not mawdu'iyya. So these perfumes were mentioned as an examples of fragrance and not the fragrance itself. So Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah understands that these are means of fragrance. So any mean of fragrance is more apparent to me from the texts which are indicating these items or these examples. Okay, Sayyidina, when we go for tawaf and we are in the state of ihram, the holy Kaaba is packed with perfume. It's a perfume of the Kaaba, specially made from ancient time. They call it khaluq al-Kaaba. It's nice smell. So what about that? Okay, that is exempt. وَيُسْتَثْنَى مِنَ الطِّيبِ, and from the perfume, there's an exemption. What is exempted from the perfume, Sayyidina? Khaluqul Kaaba, the mixture of the perfume made purposely for to applying on the cloth and the wall of the holy Kaaba. وَهُوَ طِيبٌ كَانَ يُتَّخَذْ مِنَ الزَّعْفَرَانِ, and that is a perfume. It was derived from the saffron, or it was made out of saffron. وغيره, saffron and amber and whatever mixture of saffron and other things. يطلى به الكعبة, it was applied on the Kaaba المعظمة, the great Kaaba. فلا يجب على المحرم أن يجتنب شمه وإصابته لثيابه وبدنه. So it is not obligatory on a person in the state of ihram to avoid smelling it. And if even on your ihram, like wall of Kaaba, you will feel it's like a, so it comes on your ihram, there is no problem, or on your body, there is no problem. وَإِنْ أَصَابَهُمَا, how if it came on my body or my dress of ihram, or my dress for women, there's no dress of ihram for them, and the dress which they are in the state of ihram with it. لم تجب إزالته بغسل أو نحوه. It is, if let's say if it touched your dress or body, it will not be obligatory upon you to remove it by washing it, or anything similar to washing it, chemical removal, whatever removal, that is fine. So this is something about, so it means that, oh really, then all the filthy smell that I smell, I'll just go to the Kaaba and take a deep breath. So will I be committing haram? No, he said that you can smell that fragrance, okay? Even if it was intentionally, no problem. So ruling number 238, I'm just three rulings are left and I'm going to complete this. Ruling number 238, يحرم يحرم على المحرم يحرم على المحرم. It is forbidden on a person in the state of ihram. شم الرياحين. Rayahin is a family of jasmine. Okay, jasmine on those which many countries they put on the grave. Okay, they have a good smell like raihan, yasmin. So these are some of the fragrances like jasmine family. So what are these rayahin? Rayhan, Sayyidina, can you be more specific? What is rayahin? Rayhan وهي نباتات تفوح منها رائحة طيبة وتتخذ للشم. These are flowers, these are plants. They have strong fragrance. Even the leaves, like the mint. The mint, yeah. The mint is good example of this. So they are plants. They have fragrance coming out of it. Okay, like excessive fragrance coming out of it. تفوح منها رائحة وتتخذ للشم, and they are used to smelling it. Like for example, many countries they have culture the wedding bed. You got wedded, okay. Those who are not wedded, they when will my day come? So if you get wedded, what they put, they bring this raihan and these leaves, they spread it on your bed, wedding bed, flower, rose flowers. They just sprinkle it like on that table to give you a good fragrance there, romantic fragrance. So, this is a general term to say the Sistani Rayahin is not necessarily specific Rayahan, but it is every plant which discharges excessive amount of fragrance. Okay, سواء التي يصنع منها الطيب, regardless of whether they are used to produce perfume, such as what? كالياسمين والورد, such as jasmine and rose. They use it to extract perfume out of it. وغيرها. ويستثنى منها بعض أقسامها البرية. Some of these, they are exempt. Why, Sayyidina, these are exempt? Remember, whenever we have ruling and you see certain exemptions, these exemptions are narrated. Whenever we are ruling and there are exemptions going against the ruling, that means like khaluq al-Kaaba, perfume of the Kaaba. Where did we get that exemption? From the narration. So there are narration, they exempt certain type of perfumes, okay, certain types of these rayahin plants. Okay, why? Because say the Sistani says al-adhar, most apparently. That means these exemptions, they did not come based on tariqiyya, they came based on mawdu'iyya. That means these are exceptional cases by themselves. That means we cannot take general rule out of it. That means some of these plants are no, only these are exempt. So ويستثنى منها بعض أقسامها البرية. Some of these fragrances which are wild, not domestic. So some are wild plants, some are domestic plants. So domestic plants which are naturally or commonly used, those are prohibited. But the wild plants which they have some fragrance, they are exempt, such as kashih, wal qaysum, wal khizami, wal idkhir, وأشباهها. Okay, وأشباهها. So some of these are similar to these. Inshallah, next week I'll try to get the images out of these flowers, because some of these they might not have proper English translation. So I'll just get the images inshallah next week. So inshallah I'll show you the images of these. فإنه لا بأس بشمها على الأظهار. Therefore, these are exempt, similar to these wild ones, or there is no harm in smelling them most apparently. Okay, Sayyidina, what about the fruits? Like banana has a good fragrance sometimes. Apple, orange. Orange has a very strong fragrance. وَأَمَّا الْفَوَاكِهِ. Remember, eating also was prohibited. وَأَمَّا الْفَوَاكِهِ وَالْخُضْرَوَاتِ الطَّيِّبَةِ الرَّائِحَةِ. And as for the fruits and vegetables which has good fragrance, such as tuffah, apple, والسفرجل, quince, والنعناع, mint, فيجوز للمحرم أكلها. So a muhrim person can eat them. Sayyidina na'na, mint also? Yes. However, but oh, that's what scares the hell out of me. There's some however there. ولكن الأحوط وجوبان الإمساك عن شمها حين الأكل. On the basis of obligatory precaution, while you're eating it, don't smell it. Like hold your breath and munch. Okay, once the smell is gone, start taking breath. Whatever techniques you use, I'm just saying that don't smell it. Smelling the fragrance of these are prohibited, not eating them, because you need to eat something, okay? And the fruits are distributed and you need to eat some. وكذلك الحال. Similar ruling applies. Which ruling? The prohibition of eating. Okay, the prohibition of eating is applied on these fruits. You can eat these fruits, but you cannot smell them. Same thing applies. وكذلك الحال في الأدهان الطيبة. Similar rule applies in the oils which have fragrance. فإن الأظهار جواز أكل ما يطعم منها. So there's an exemption case. Remember, applying, eating, all those kind of prohibition. Perfumed oils, you cannot apply them, you cannot use them, but you can eat them, drink them, or eat them, whatever as are edible oils. Okay, whatever are edible and perfume, but you cannot smell the fragrance of this oil. Now, I don't know which oil, which people they consume this fragrance. I maybe almond oil, olive oil, no way. Yeah. Think about an oil which is good fragrance, which is used in consuming edible or drinkable or those kind of castor oil. No, it's not coming in my mind. If it's coming in your mind, fine. Then you know the ruling. لا يجب على المحرم. Ruling number 239. No, before that. وكذلك الحال. Similarly, the rule applies for the rule of eating the fruits. Okay, fragrance fruit applies for consuming the oil which has fragrance. Okay, أدهان الطيبة فإن الأظهار, most apparently it is permissible to eat or consume whatever is edible from those. ولا يعد من الطيب عرفا, and it is not considered perfume in a common consideration, or commonly it is not viewed as a perfume. However, on the basis of obligatory precaution, same like the fruits, one should hold the breath and not smell the fragrance of the oil. Ruling number 239. لا يجب على المحرم أن يمسك على أنفه من الرائحة الطيبة حال سعي بين الصفا والمروة إذا كان هناك من يبيع لطو. Oh, this is once upon a time. Once upon a time, between Safa and Marwa, there used to be stores outside. You come out of the Mount Safa, you walk to Marwa, there are stores, they sell perfume. Now it's gone. All it's now Safa and Marwa is inside the Haram. There are no shops, there are no stores. So this is once upon a time. بين الصف إذا كان هناك من يبيع العطور. Ruling number 239. It is not obligatory for a mahram person to hold his nose, hold his breath. أن يمسك على أنفه من الرائحة الطيبة, from the fragrant smell uh, during his sa'i during his walk between Safa and Marwa. إذا كان هناك من يبيع الأطور, if there were people they were selling perfume, وعليه أن يمسك على أنفه من الرائحة الطيبة في غير هذا الحال. So it's this exemption again is between Safa and Marwa. Why? Because there it must be old practice. Safa and Marwa, basically there was a market in between, old times. So that's why there's no problem. But what if I'm coming out of the hotel and I'm walking to the haram, and there are people selling perfume? Hold your nose. This rule is exemption for Safa and Marwa, and we said whenever there's exemption, that indicates there is a narration indicating that exemption, because normally you should not smell. Okay, but when you have this exemption of Khaluq al-Kaaba or walk between Safa and Marwa, these exemptions have been narrated. So therefore, you are. But what about if I go from the hotel to the Haram and I'm in the state of Haram? No. Walk away. If you walk beside those stores, hold your breath from the perfume. وعليه يمسك أنفه على أنفه من الرائحة الطيبة في غير هذا الحال. Other than this walk between Safa and Marwa, if you're walking, then you should hold your breath from smelling the fragrance. نعم لا بأس بشم خلوق الكعبة. Yes, there is no harm in smelling the perfume of the Kaaba, as mentioned previously. Ruling number 240, إذا تعمد المحرم. Okay, is there any penalty إذا تعمد المحرم أكل شيء من الطيب أو لبس ما يكون عليه أثر منه، فعليه كفارة شاة على الأحوط لزوما. If ruling number 240, if a muhrim person intentionally, deliberately, remember, eats some of the fragrances, perfume, some of the perfumes or fragrances, things which has fragrance, or wears attire which has fragrance on it, or uses, then there is a penalty of sheep on the basis of obligatory precaution. ولا كفارة عليه في استعمال الطيب فيما عدا ذلك. Other than that, other than eating and putting on the dress, there is no penalty such as medication. There is no penalty on the medication if the medication had perfume, like applying on the body. So eating and dress, these two things have penalty, and that is knowingly. If وإن كان التكفير أحوط. So other than these two situations, kafara is recommended precaution. But obligatory precaution, the penalty is on eating and applying on the body, wearing a dress which has perfume. What about filthy smell? Can I have a clipper? You know, clipper which you clip the clothes? Can I put a clipper when I'm passing by the filthy smell or trash or something like that? No, you cannot clip your nose, okay, from bad smell. Smell it. Yeah, you can hold your breath, but you cannot clip your nose. يحرم على المحرم, it is prohibited on a person who's in the state of ihram or muhrim, أن يمسك على أنفه من الروائح الكريهة, to hold his nose from to hold his breath or nose from the filthy smell. And يمسك على أنفه, that clipping on the nose doesn't mention holding the breath, but it mentions clipping on the nose. Okay, from the filthy, foul smell. Oh my goodness. نعم لا بأس بالإسراع في المشي للتخلص منه. You want to get rid of it? Run, Joe, run. Get the hell out of there. You see, or get the heaven. I cannot say get the heaven out of there. So just run, go fast, but don't hold your nose. Don't clip on your nose, but you can run faster. You can walk faster if you are in that filthy situation. So we are done with the 7 prohibitions of ihram. 9 is wearing the stitch attire, and that is very important. So inshallah, we will continue that on Monday. Monday will be our final session, Then we'll give a break until Ashura. After Ashura, we will continue these sessions. I don't have any problem giving these sessions continuing on Muharram 12 days, but I want you to put some time in listening to the lectures of Ashura, Majalis of Abu Abdullah al Hussein. It's very important that this practice is not abandoned by our beloved Mumineen. So even if you feel that these majalis are not that helpful, try to do some researches on the topic of Imam Hussein, historical topics of Imam Hussein, Aza of Imam Hussein. Be busy in exploring Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, okay? But spend some time on shedding tears on the musibah of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. You will get the greatest reward of this world and the world hereafter. Why? Because we have tawatur that our A'immas alayhi salatu wasalam used to shed their tears on the Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam tragedy on the day of Ashura, specifically 9th and 10th of Muharram. And some of the practices of our ulamas have been these 10 days to prepare yourself in grieving until when you come the day of Ashura, you are prepared to grieve the whole day, and it's not just a few hours of grieving. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين والسلام عليكم